What's up guys, welcome back to Daniel Talks Football right here on YouTube. I'm Daniel and we are back with another video. In this video we're going to be having a look at Manchester United and how do you fix Manchester United. There's a lot of problems currently at the club and I wanted to have a sit down and have a look about how we restore Manchester United to their former glory. Before we do get into the video, please make sure to like the video, comment down below and also subscribe to the channel. Go and follow the TikTok and the Instagram Daniel Talks Football on both. Right. Manchester United now. Jose Mourinho recently called out Manchester United, saying that he had warned them about certain players who weren't good enough to try and get to the level that Manchester United want to get to, and these players are still at the football club. That's problem number one. Problem number two, they finished bottom of the Champions League group and they're currently 8th in the Premier League. These are not the kind of things that Manchester United want to be doing. Manchester United teams well challenged for the Champions League and challenged for the Premier League. At the moment it looks like they'll be doing neither, and it looks like they won't even be in the Champions League next season. Erik Ten Hag is possibly losing faith in that dressing room. Obviously, there were reports that came out saying that he was losing the dressing room. They were proven to be false. However, even the fact that these reports are being produced possibly hints that something isn't right within that dressing room, and possibly hints that falls on Ten Hag as well. You've got an out-of-favour Jadon Sancho who's about to move back to Borussia Dortmund on loan, an out-of-form Anthony who can't seem to find form whatever, and a Mason Greenwood who continues to divide the fan base on what the club should do with him. So how do you fix Manchester United? We're going to have a look at the squad position by position and look at how they could perfect the squad by the start of next season to have success. This will take the next two transfer windows and probably longer to get all this business done, but we're saying the next two transfer windows for this video, and yeah, it will take longer, but yeah, for the sake of the video, I'm also going to provide 2 players for each position that they will need to sign at least one of to get to the position they need to do. So step 1 before we do get into all that is to make a decision on Erik Ten Hag. Now, if you believe in Ten Hag for the long term, and this is to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, if you believe in him for the long term, keep him. If you don't, bring in a new option. For the sake of this video, I'm going to say that the issues at Manchester United do run deeper than the manager, which I do believe to be true, and hence I am going to keep him on. However, it would not surprise me to see Ten Hag be moved on and then bring in somebody new. In terms of the contract situation at the football club, you've got a lot of players whose contracts expire at the end of this season. Now, I know some are recently updated. However, this script was written before that and I haven't had time to sit down and have a look at them. I think it was Lindelof's, Wan-Bissaka's and Hannibal's. I think they were the contracts that were extended. However, at the time of writing this script, they hadn't been done, and at the time of recording they still haven't been officially announced anyway. So the contract situation as of recording right now, you've got Amrabat, whose contract expires at the end of the season with a buy option. You've got Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Martial and Hannibal, who all have contracts expiring in the summer of 2024 with the option of 1 year to extend. It has been confirmed, I think, by David Ornstein that Manchester United will not be looking to extend Martial's contract. You've then also got Evans and Tom Heaton, whose contracts expire in 2024 without that option. 2025, you've got Varane, Ederson and Donny van der Beek just up until 2025, and then you've got McTominay, Maguire, Pellistri and Diallo up until 2025 with the option of an extra year. So we'll start off with goalkeeper. Onana and Bayunde both have long-term deals, and while Onana has been inconsistent, he is a quality goalkeeper and I do have faith that he will come good. Heaton's out of contract at the end of the summer and with no option of the extra year on him. However, I think he'll be happy to stay as a third choice. So personally, I'd offer him just a simple 1 year extension, same terms, which I'm sure he would probably sign, and keep him on. There's bigger issues to deal with in the squad, so keep him around for now. So he's a good third choice keeper. Moving on to left back now, and after Reguilon went back from his loan in January, Shaw went back early. You've got 3 left backs there: Shaw, Malacia and Williams. Malacia and Shaw are, again, 2 solid options, and I'd expect them to stay and rotate between the 2 of them. So I wouldn't upgrade at left back simply because I think those are 2 good players and they are good enough to get United where they want to go, at least back up into Champions League places. I'd then sell Williams. If Ipswich want to keep him, then keep him there, let them buy him off you. But yeah, he's not good enough for Manchester United, and I don't think anybody would say he would be. Moving on to centre-back now, and Martinez is a must-keep, as is Varane in my opinion. Now, I know there's possibly some tensions between Ten Hag and Varane, but I'm going to say keep Varane because I do think he's a top-quality centre-back. However, it would not surprise me to see him be moved on. Maguire's made a comeback, and I'd definitely look to activate his 1 year option in his contract. Varane's going to need a new deal, and as I say, I would recommend Manchester United to do this. I'd offer Evans a 1-year extension as a purely backup centre-back. However, I would look to offload Lindelof this summer after activating that 1-year extension and bringing a younger, better centre-back to replace him, to possibly then overtake Varane as Martinez's centre-back partner before then maybe looking to move Varane on in the summer of 2025. Moving into right-back now, and both Wan-Bissaka and Dalot are solid options. A new deal for Wan-Bissaka will need to be agreed, but I expect United to get that one done, in all honesty. A position which is upgradable at right back, I could see them going for somebody like a Jeremy Frimpong, possibly, because he is a very, very good player. However, I think for the time being there are bigger fish to fry in this United squad, so I will keep them 2 for now. But again, I really do feel like they are upgradable, and within the next 2 to 3 years, they will need to have a look at this position. Moving into CDM, and you've got Casemiro, who's a top DM. However, I do feel like a younger player is needed with Casemiro approaching 32. I'd sell McTominay and bring in a younger DM to battle with Casemiro. I know you've got Kobe Mainu, but I don't think the club quite know yet if he is a CDM or if he is a centre mid. So for now, I would keep him sort of as an outskirts player to come in, and eventually, possibly, if you do see him as a DM, he can replace Casemiro, and you can have him in the new DM. But for now, I wouldn't plan around Mainu, and possibly even try and get him a loan move away from the football club to get more consistent football. Moving into centre midfielder, now I would look to purchase Amrabat permanently myself, simply because I think he is a decent squad player and would offer something to this United squad for fairly cheap at 25-30 million. However, I don't feel like he is a long-term option as the starter. Eriksen's contract is up in 2025, so I'd keep him as a rotation player next season and then make a decision on an extension at the end of the 24-25 season. A starting 8 is needed here, as Van der Beek has moved on to Eintracht Frankfurt, and would not surprise me to see him either stay there long-term or be shipped out somewhere else in the summer, as he's not part of Ten Hag's plans. Attacking midfielder now, you've got 2 class attacking midfielders in Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount. I know Mason Mount hasn't possibly got the game time yet, but he's a very good attacking midfielder, and you do not need to upgrade his position, so move on to the wings. Now, left wing here, you've got Garnacho and Rashford, and these are 2 very good options to play on the left. Rashford's obviously has capabilities to play across the front 3, so is a must-keep. Sancho's clearly out of favour at the football club and will be moving to Borussia Dortmund on loan. Get him out permanently in the summer if Ten Hag is still there, as he's clearly not wanted. If not, let the new manager make his decision. But I don't think he is particularly needed with Rashford and Garnacho both so strong. At right wing now, Anthony needs to stay. More for the sake that United won't be able to recoup anything near what they spent on him, and hence that having a massive effect on FFP if they were just to sell him. However, United do need a first choice on that right wing. Mason Greenwood is obviously a difficult situation. However, personally, I've said before on this channel, I would let him go. Release or sell, I'm not going to speak about it. I'm not trying to get myself into any controversy, but if I'm Radcliffe, Greenwood, you're off. You need a first choice quality right wing, and I'll quickly move on from that position. Striker. Now, Haaland will be a good striker. However, we do need competition for him. Martial will not offer him this. And in line with Ornstein's news, as I've already mentioned, I would expect Martial to leave at the end of this season. A starting striker is needed, and yeah, we do need a star striker here. So, to summarise, United need to offload Lindelof, McTominay, Donny van der Beek, Sancho, Martial, Williams and Greenwood over the next 2 windows. And they are players who I reasonably expect United to be able to offload. Right. We'll start for the starting right wing position, and for me here again I've got 2 options, as I said, I've got for every single position. The first one of these is Johan Bakayoko. Bakayoko has been really, really good for PSV so far this season after a 40 million move to Brentford was rejected by PSV in the summer. I think Bakayoko is an excellent player, and he has shown this both in the Eredivisie and in European competitions with PSV. Obviously, PSV are currently top of the Eredivisie, and I still don't think they've lost the game, so they wouldn't want to lose him this January. But it could be a move for the summer. I could maybe see a deal being agreed for around 50 million. And the other option I've gone for is Elise. Now, when this script was written, the links with Elise hadn't actually been formatted, but obviously since there has been links, I think Elise would be an excellent signing. I think he could probably cost 50 to 60, maybe even 70 million. Obviously, in the summer, he was close to getting moved to Chelsea for 35, but that was because of a release clause, which has now been removed from his contract. I think Elise is an excellent player. And I really think United should be all over this. You know, he can play at attack midfield and he can play on the right. I think having him there would be a massive, massive upgrade. So him or Bakayoko for that right wing position. They'd both probably cost you between 50 to 60 million, I'd say. Maybe even up to 70 for Elise, with it being to another Premier League club. However, I do reckon they'll be worth it. And I do reckon these are players United do need to go for. For the starting centre mid position, I've gone for either Barella or Kefren Turam. Now, I'll start with Barella. Now, obviously, we all know about the news with Inter recently that apparently they're on the verge of bankruptcy. Only the sales of Brozovic. Whoever else they sold. They sold another big player. I can't remember who else Inter sold. It was massive. Only the sales of Brozovic and that other player. Oh, it was Onana, wasn't it? Only the sales of Brozovic and Onana have sort of kept Inter in business. So they will still need to be raising more and more money, and I think Barella is a sellable option that they could pursue to try and get some money for. I think you could probably get Barella out of Inter for 50 to 60 million, and I think Barella is an excellent centre midfielder who would add an awful lot to that midfield. The other option is Kefren Turam. Now, Turam's been playing really well in France with Nice for a couple of years now. Probably a little bit of a cheaper option than Barella. You could probably get him for around 40 million, but he's young, he's hungry, and he's an excellent box-to-box midfielder in my opinion, who would really, really offer a lot to this United side and really upgrade that midfield. A midfield of Casemiro, Barella or Thuram and Bruno, that could get you quite far in the Premier League in my opinion. For the star striker, it's really difficult. Osimhen is my first choice, obviously. Now, I'm going to say Osimhen a lot of this transfer window because he's such a star striker, and you know, I could really see Napoli maybe wanting to sell one of him or Kvaratskhelia while those values are still high, if not both of them, if they could get up to 250 million maybe combined for the pair of them. I think Osimhen is a really, really good striker and he's shown this consistently. He has obviously signed that new deal with Napoli up to 2026, I do believe, with the 130 million euro release clause, which Napoli would probably expect somebody to pay to take him out of there, but I do think he would be worth it. I reckon he would score goals for fun and would be much needed help in that front line with Haaland currently not scoring as freely as United expected. The other option I've gone for is Boniface. Now, Boniface is a little bit more improved now. I think the step to United would be a bit too much for him after only 6 good months. I would expect him to go somewhere more like West Ham, Tottenham, somewhere like that. But if you are looking for a cheaper option, maybe 30 to 40 million, I reckon you could probably get Boniface for. He's shown that he can score goals, and if you could keep his morale high, then he could possibly continue to do that. But I would not recommend going for Boniface. I would go for Victor Osimhen. For me, the Lindelof replacement should be one of either Scalvini or Guehi. Now, Scalvini's obviously shown what he can do for, you know, a while now playing in Italy, and he's a top centre back. He's at Atalanta, and you know he's a very, very good player. However, you know, again, is he one who's ready for the move? Does he need more time in Italy? Is he suited to the Premier League football? I'm not quite sure, and that's why I wouldn't recommend him. Even though obviously he's an option, I definitely feel as if he's an option. I'd go for Mark Guehi. At Crystal Palace again, I reckon if you were to bid maybe 120 million for Elise and Guehi combined, Crystal Palace would accept that. And it would really, really be worth it. Guehi is a top player, and you know he's getting into that England setup for a reason now. I reckon it wouldn't take him long to unearth Varane in that back line, and I think him and Martinez would really take this United side to new levels, and obviously English, which helps with that English quota. And lastly, they need a DM. Now, again, I've got 2 options in here. The first one of these, Amadou Onana. Now, how would that go down? I would be interested to see with having 2 Onanas at the football club, considering one has struggled at times this season. However, Amadou Onana is an excellent player in that Everton midfield and would really push Casemiro in that midfield. He would cost a lot of money, and I don't know if he'd be happy to come and sit on the bench. However, and hence my other option is Lebanon. Lebanon is currently with Lyon and a struggling Lyon side at that as well. I reckon Lebanon could be a deal they could get done in January for maybe 15 to 20 million, to be honest. You know, he's a talent, and while he hasn't particularly excelled in that Lyon side this year, nobody has. I reckon he is a good player, and you don't need a ready-made perfect player to come in with Casemiro still performing at a good level. If you did feel like you needed that, I'd go for Amadou Onana, but considering I don't think personally they do need that, I'd go and get Lebanon, give him some, you know, cup games and stuff this season for next season, properly looking to blood him into the first team. So yeah, there we go. For me, that is how you fix Manchester United. What do you make to my suggestions? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all again in the next video. See ya!